Tonight we're going to be talking about universal laws that you have to abide by, laws that you can't necessarily go against. I would say gravity, but gravity is something we defy every day with planes, right? So I'm not going to say gravity is undefinable, but there are certain laws in this world that you just simply have to abide by. And if you go against these laws, there are consequences. Now, these certain laws you just can't disobey, and a lot of you guys don't understand that. And this will come into game when gaming girls. This will come into getting money. This will come into life. Now, there's a lot that is on the table when it comes to these laws. But let's get into it. Now, for example, when you talk about whatever you focus on grows. So if you take a look at me, for example, when I was younger, I had a lot of focus on girls. And to be fair, it wasn't just only me. I grew up with a lot of cousins that were into women, and I just feel like I don't know. I don't know if this is, I guess this is a thing with all men, but I just feel like black men and in black communities in general is just getting girls and getting money is just like at the top of the food chain sometime, right? And there's always something, it's like always the thing. And I feel as if growing up, I focused on girls so much that it was almost to a detriment. It was almost to a detriment. I was when especially like after losing my virginity, which is like age 12, it was just like everybody was like, "Oh, you didn't have sex yet? You're a loser. Oh, you didn't do this with a girl yet? Oh, you're a loser." So it was just like that was just like, "Oh, damn." And then it's like after I did it, once you find out about it, you guys don't have sex until after marriage. I don't want to sound like a hypocrite, but I just got to say that it's Ramadan. But I focused on girls so much, which is why I'm able to give guys advice about females. And even guys that are a lot older than me, um, I can have a better knowledge of females than they do. Why? Because I have more experience. A lot of the times people may think that because you're older, you usually have more wisdom. Generally, yeah, that may be true. But if you specialize in a certain topic, that doesn't mean that that person may know more than you. But I focused on females so much that it became easy for me. I learned how to talk to them. I learned how to get them. I learned how to make out with them. Like I even had a process at like 15, 16 years old, you know, on getting to a girl's pants. It was see how far you can go. I know most young guys aren't doing that, but it was always see how far you can go. And I got pretty far a lot of the times, you know. Coming out of high school, I had like, 40, 50 bodies. For some people, they don't believe that, but it's all documented. I have a fucking black book stuck for the law. It's not the best thing to be bragging about, especially during the month of Ramadan. But making my point is whatever you focus on, it grows. Whatever you focus on, it expands. When you focus on money more, it grows, it expands. There are some people who don't take a day off. I was just watching a documentary on it was black millionaires, and this one guy, he's a multimillionaire, but he said that he works every single day. There are some people that I know that focus on money from sun up to sundown, and then they have an abundance. Why? Because what you focus on grows. Right. And then you can see how with some guys that they don't have a lot of success with women. Some guys get the money and then they get women. but then they're not good in relationships because they don't understand relationship dynamics because they skipped that part of having a relationship when they were younger. And I do feel like focusing on females so much was almost to a detriment because I feel like I should have been rich at this age. The type of willpower that I have, the type of knowledge, how smart I am, it was almost to a detriment, but I'm here and I'm making money off of it now. But my point is, whatever you focus on grows. For example, sports. I'm a fighter, right? I'm a boxer. I love watching boxing. I love watching fights. When you focus on a craft, whether that be basketball, whether that be boxing, whether that be football, you look at the best of everyone in their field and they have an obsession. And if they don't have an obsession, they have a crazy work ethic. They have a crazy work ethic. You look at Michael Jordan. He said that he would shoot 1,000 shots. I try to say 1,000 affirmations a day. That shit is not easy. Whatever you focus on grows. That's why when I have some guys who purchase coaching, they do coaching, right? Coaching is relatively expensive, but the guys who focus better, the guys who are studying the content, the guys that are listening to the podcast, they do better. They see more success in coaching than the guys that don't see. Why? Because whatever you focus on grows. And then there are a lot of guys that are talking about like, oh, KB, I listen to your stuff, but I still have a hard time. If you want more success in something, you want more successful women, aside from the techniques, you don't even have to study my content. You can go on your favorite creators' content, unless they're just giving horrible advice and not giving you complete advice, you'll still acquire some type of knowledge based on what you're focusing on with that. Because why? Whatever you focus on grows. It's very, very simple. Very simple. That's why you see the people in the best in the field reach certain heights because they're training in and day out. You see, if you have body goals, right? You go to the gym and you say, I have a goal, I want to have a 6-pack. You get a 6-pack and you continue going. You get more than that. You become ripped. You become bulk. Because whatever you focus on grows. And these are one of these laws of the universe that just can't be broken. But a lot of guys don't understand that. I got guys coming to me like, oh, I wanted this. I want to accomplish this. How do I do this, bro? Focus on it, bro. Do more of it. It's really rather simple when you think about it. But it's just actually putting it into action, And, this is why it makes sense when it comes to relationships. If you focus on the bad in something, that's what you'll get. And there's different aspects to it. If you focus on completely bad all the time, you can't expect good. Like in the book of what is it? As a Man Thinketh by James Allen, or is it The Science of Getting? I think it's The Science of Getting Rich. And there's a line in there where it says, "There's never been a study of poverty. There's never been a study of poverty that produced riches, and there's never been a study of riches that produced poverty." And it goes back to what you focus on grows, right? And this is why I see guys in relationships and they're always so negative. They're always so like, just thinking about the worst possible situations. And what happens? They usually attract these type of situations because they're focused on the negative. You never see fighters. Look at Floyd Mayweather. Floyd Mayweather is undefeated, never lost a fight, right? But what he said was he only focused on winning. And that's the same thing with me. When I want something, I try not to focus on the negative. I only focus on what I want. If you focus on your objective and you focus on the thing that you want the most likely that's what you're going to get back. That's karma of the mind, right? If you think about it, these are very simple. Hey, I'll give you a story time. When I was like maybe, I think 10 or 11, I had a neighbor. She was a lot older than, maybe she was like maybe in her mid 20s or early 20s, but I was like 12. She was hot. This tall, dark-skinned girl, and she had a boyfriend. And her boyfriend would always come around, and eventually he stopped coming around. And then I overheard her talking to my mom, and then my mom was like, she was telling my mom that, he was always accusing me of cheating. He was always accusing me of doing stuff. He was always accusing me of doing this. He was just so insecure, and he was just like always accusing me of stuff. And then she was like, you know what? I just end up cheating on him because he was always accusing me. Now, that's not the most ethical thing, right? That's not the best thing in the world for somebody to do. But you have to understand, you attract certain situations in your life. You attract these situations because what was this guy doing? He's always focused on the negative. He's paranoid. He's focusing on shit that wasn't even happening. He's focusing on things with this girl that wasn't even going. This was a girl that was good to him. This girl that was loyal to him. No homo. He was a handsome guy. But what happened? He focused on the negative so much that it produced itself. The law of attraction is very real. And it may work in different ways, but another thing, guys aren't conscious of the things that you're thinking. You look at a guy who has a really hot girlfriend but doesn't have any game in the world. And you're like, damn, how the hell did he get her? I know this guy. He doesn't have any real game. When you learn to attract certain things in your life by what you focus on, you'll get it. You'll get it. And this is why I try to tell guys who purchase coaching and get coaching, and they're like, yo, I just always think of the negative. I was like, listen, you need to stop that shit. Because not only when you think and you focus on the negative, it starts to manifest itself in your personality because you become overprotective. You start questioning her. And then a lot of the times, if you're not cheating, she's going to think you're cheating because it's like, why are you so negative? Why do you keep thinking that I'm doing all these things when I'm not? So either you're going to come off insecure, clingy, and it's going to turn her off either way because that's what you're focusing on. Or she's just going to straight up leave you. She's just going to straight up leave you. What you focus on expands. If you focus on the good of something, it will expand. It will grow. If you focus on the bad of something, it will expand and it will grow. And that's what I like to call a little karma of the mind. And it goes into karma. It goes into karma. What comes around goes around. Most people think that karma is just, you do something bad and then bad comes back to you. You do something good, good comes back to you. Now, yeah, there's some truth in that. There's definitely a lot of truth in that. But that's not always 100% how it works. Your thoughts, like, how do you think that, like, you look at, like, people that hit the lottery, for example, right? Or like the last example, people that get good looking girls, but they don't have a lick of fucking game. They're not even rich, right? You ever see one of these TikToks where you see the guys, and they're like, they'll show a couple and like some loser ass like white kid that lives in Wisconsin with some bad mixed girl, some bad black girl, some bad Spanish girl. She's bad, nice body, beautiful as hell, and he looks like a dork. And then they show to the clip of the guy crying because it's like, what am I doing wrong? How do you think, like, how does that happen? How does that happen? It's about the things that you focus on. It's about the things that you think about. So at the very least, on a deeper level of game, it starts up here. Some people don't have it that easy where they just attract things like that. So you got to put in a little more work, right? And you look at people who hit lotteries, they're not even fucking working hard, but most likely they focus on that shit. They focus on it. Why? People who usually hit lotteries play numbers all the time. People that hit lottery more than once play numbers. If you know anybody, if you have somebody in your family that gambles, they gamble a lot, they play them numbers all the time, probably on a daily basis. And then when they finally decide to focus on a big goal, they'll get it. They'll get it. These people probably don't work hard. They probably have no work ethic. They might even lose the millions that they get. But you get what you focus on. You get what you put in. And that's almost like karma. It's because karma thinks, most basic people think that karma is, if I do something, you do something bad to somebody, it's going to come back around. You do something good to somebody, it's going to come back around. Right? Yeah, there's some truth to that, but that's not 100% of it. The thoughts that you put into your head, the thoughts that you constantly think, most people aren't even aware of the thoughts consistently. Most people always say negative shit throughout the day. Oh, I can't do this. I can't do that. Oh, I will never be able to do this. Even if it sounds absurd. You're like, I want $1 million by the end of the year. Oh, I can't. Don't say you can't fucking do it. You're down. You're giving up before you even tried. But then you wonder why you'll never get it, because it starts here. You be like, oh, you see a hot girl, I'll never be able to get that girl. Oh, she probably wants some baller. She probably wants a guy that makes 7 figures. So you don't even walk up to her and approach her. I'm broke right now. I'm not in the place I want to be. So I couldn't get that girl. No, that's where it starts. That's why you're not going to get it, because you don't believe in yourself. And then and it manifests itself in your personality. You're already doubting yourself up here. So when you walk up to her and talk to her, you're like coming with all this doubt that you was just thinking in your head. How do you fix that? Stop talking positive to yourself. Start talking positive and get rid of the negativity. You have to be aware of your thoughts. This is very basic, rudimentary level of game. I guess it's not so basic in theory because most people aren't aware of this, especially a lot of you young guys, right? But that's where it starts. You know, let's talk about more karma. If you put in work, right? Let's say if I got a match coming up, I'm training hard. I'm training harder than the next guy. A fight comes and I knock him out and I win. Right? I put in work. That's karma. That's karma. The work that I put in has come back to serve me. That's karma. And you know, the funny thing with fighting and boxing and UFC, all that stuff, people think, oh, this fighter's good. I don't know. It's up to chance. No, these motherfuckers is working. And the guy who puts in more work usually and has the better mindset and combines that shit usually is the guy that wins. That's how that works. That's karma. And the people who talk to themselves, the confidence correlates with the affirmations that you feed yourself. If I absolutely 100% believe in myself, I'm not going to say bad things. I'm like, oh man, I got my dust. I'm like, oh no, I know he's good, but I'm the shit. When I was younger, I used to talk to myself crazy. I mean, I was fueled by my pops. When I was very young, I had a very good sense of self-esteem. My father was like, you know who you are? He would talk all this shit to me and boost my confidence. So when I was a little older, I would always talk to myself. I'd be like, damn, I look good. I could have any girl in here. And I would think these things to myself. And then I started saying it. And then at first I thought it became a thought. And thoughts become actions, and actions, thoughts becomes words, and words become actions. And I thought this stuff, then I started saying it. Then it started manifesting in my life. Then I started getting all the shit that I wanted. It's very simple. You focus on this shit. That's why you see some guys that don't have game, some guys who just aren't even that good in their profession, but they make millions. Some people live way better lives and they don't work as hard. They're doing something, doing the mental work. The work has to be done either way. There has to be, if it's not being done physically, it has to be done mentally. They're attracting it. And throughout the day, I'm always telling myself positive stuff. I never tell myself negative stuff. When I want something, listening to some of my clients, I see the way that they think and they be like, oh man, like, you know, I want to see what the competition. I don't think about other men. I don't care. It's not even what I'm focused on. I have that much confidence and I feed myself confidence. And if a negative thought ever does come up, what I do is I instantly say no. I just say to myself, all is well. And I replace it with its opposite. So I think a positive thought. If I'm thinking like if I'm driving and I get some crazy random thoughts sometimes, I'm like, what if I fucking crashed a car and I fucking flipped and my head fucking chopped up, like crazy random shit, right? But that doesn't happen a lot. I feel like I'm more of an optimist. But if that does, I replace it. I say, damn, what if I'm driving and I find a bag of money and it's like $5 million, 2 bags of money, right? I always replace it with a positive thought. So I start to control my thinking. And this is something that I did this is a habit that I started a very long time ago when I was like maybe 19, 20 years old. I read As a Man Thinketh by James Allen and The Power of Concentration. These are 2 really good books that you guys should read, especially you young guys, because I know a lot of you guys that are on my channel are a lot younger than I am. I'm 29. So I know a lot of you guys are 19, 20, 21, 22, even 23, 24. And then even some guys older than me, they still don't got as much game as me because they ain't got much experience as me. But you have to worry about the things that you think. Now, even if you talk about karma when doing bad to people, a lot of people think, oh, if you automatically do bad, you're going to get it back. Not true necessarily all the time. let's start, look at people like bad people who commit atrocities. Like you look at Hitler and people like who have took the lives of millions and billions. And there's theories that Hitler never even really died. He went to Venezuela or went to the inner earth, some craziness like that. But there are people like this who get away with crazy crimes here, and you're like, wait, where's their karma coming? Now, this could be a theory of mine, but I find it to be true because I see it all the time, and I watch my uncles and my pops and all these people cheat on their wives for the longest, and nothing bad ever happens to them. And I think when it comes to the negative stuff, I think that karma only works badly when you feel guilt. And I think that's one of the ways of beating karma is, when that guilt is felt, that's when it comes back, because you feel that guilt, it starts to manifest in your life. And that's a bit deeper on another note, but also you got to understand, when you do bad, karma may manifest itself in other ways. Like something might not happen to you, but something might bad, like an opportunity, you might lose an opportunity, or you might lose some money, or something bad might happen to your mother or your brother or something like that, or your job might go out of business, so now you don't have a job and you're laid off for like X amount of days or hours, and I see this a lot with a lot of guys who cheat and they have no remorse, and the girl's like, oh, you should feel bad. And that's kind of a whole nother story, because it's like, some men believe that men were made to be with multiple women, and that's why there's more women on the earth than men. So a lot of guys don't feel too bad for it. And a lot of guys can still love their wife and never leave them and cheat all the time. But I do truly believe that you can beat karma if there's no guilt. That doesn't mean go and do something bad. Like you see a lot of people who who kill people or take the lives of people that are evil. Like say if somebody did something bad to your family member or was committing a whole bunch of crimes and you took that person's life and nothing bad happens to you, you're going to live the greatest life ever. And some people question, like, where's that person's karma? Well, did they feel guilty? They didn't. So, but one thing that I will say, for the people who do commit horrible crimes, I know not everybody's a religious person, but I am. And I do believe in the afterlife, which is, I believe, is for forever. They will have to answer for it. And you'd rather get punished for something here than in the next life, because that's for forever. That's eternal. I mean, that's my answer to it. And one thing and my whole point of this thing is, one thing that I will tell you guys, one piece of karma that always comes back to you, and these are laws of the universe that you must follow. Whenever you give, it always comes back. I guarantee you, whatever you give, it always comes back. I wasn't having the best month, and then I was still, because I always give, but during Ramadan, it's Ramadan now, so in Ramadan I always give more. But even throughout the year, I still always give. I always give, and it always comes back. But because it's Ramadan, I've been giving left and right. And one day, no, I'm lying. In 2 days, I accumulated $5,000 in 2 days. Now, I have millionaire clients. One of my millionaire clients told me he made $6,000 in 6 hours. Okay, well, it took me a little longer, 2 days, right? But I see the difference in what I'm doing. It's like whenever I give money, I give, it always comes back. And not only does it come back, it comes back multiplied. Like I can't even give you a number, like 10x, 5x sometime. Like, and I try not to talk about the good deeds that I do, because I try to keep that between me and God. But like, you ever see those lines? People are on lines, and they're online for like a soup kitchen, and they're lined to get food. Clearly these people are hungry, or they have some type of pride. They're probably not in the best financial situation. So what I'll do is I'll take a couple $100 and I get them all in singles. And I'll just go online and give everybody a few dollars, maybe $4 or $5, $2, because I know that's going to come back to me. Obviously, I have intentions for doing good and doing good deeds, because I am relatively religious, right? But it always comes back to you. It always comes back to you. And I had way more to talk about, but I'm gonna end this off because I want to eat and chill, and I have to fast tomorrow. But guys, it always comes back to you. If you're having a hard time with something, if you're having money troubles, go give to somebody. If you can't give, do something. Go help somebody. If you can have some food, you can go do something, because it always comes back. It always comes back for you. And these are some laws of the universe that you can't disobey. You can try, you can do some bad for a while, but eventually it's going to catch up to you. You can do some good. Whatever you put in, whatever you focus on grows. If it's women, if it's game, you focus on negativity, your mind is going to give you back what you've been focusing on, all right?